If you don't like surprises but still want to stay healthy, then listen up. Bladder cancer awareness is crucial. Bladder cancer affects over 500,000 people each year. But don't worry, early detection can make a huge difference. Symptoms to watch out for include blood in the urine, frequent urination, and pain during urination. Risk factors? Smoking tops the list, but exposure to certain chemicals and chronic bladder issues also play a role. Even if you've never smoked, staying hydrated and regular checkups are key for prevention. Men are more likely to get bladder cancer than women, but remember, everyone should be vigilant. Treatments have come a long way, from surgery and chemotherapy to innovative immunotherapies. So what can you do? Know the symptoms, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and consult your doctor if you notice anything unusual. Awareness is our best defense. Stay informed, stay healthy, and don't forget to share this video to spread the word about bladder cancer awareness. Thanks for watching.